Oops, I see I've already gone live. Oh boy. Sorry about that, guys. I probably made everybody sick. Hi, it's Lori from Scraps by Sissy, who obviously doesn't know what she's doing. Oh, I hope this isn't a sign of what's about to happen today. Happy Thursday, everybody. Let's see if I can get signed on here on my laptop so that I can see, hopefully, see comments. You know, I thought I turned on my Do Not Disturb, too. Oh, it's going to be one of those days, I can already tell. So, today we're going to be playing with the August Paper Pumpkin Kit. And I know there were I've heard several comments that it was not their favorite kit. And while I agree that it was not one of my favorites, that's okay because that pushes us outside our box to try and create something that we do like with the supplies we have, which is exactly what I'm doing. Okay, I'm still looking for my video over here, so hang tight a second. Let's see. Hopefully I'm still going live. Yeah? Okay, good. We're there. Looks like my phone's a little tilted. Hang on. Close your eyes. Okay. So, like I said, we're playing with the August Paper Pumpkin Kit. And, wait, I'm still looking for the video. Sorry. Hang on a second. Like I said, I've been trying to get my Facebook back to the old look, and apparently I'm not able to do that, so trying to find things is a little bit difficult some days. Oh well, we're just gonna go with it, I guess. Let's see. So I'll have to, if I don't catch your comments in here or see you checking in, know that I will leave comments when I'm done. So the August Paper Pumpkin Kit was all about heroes, and it's not your typical military or anything like that. It's like for teachers and that kind of hero. And the kit came with a Pacific Point ink spot, and this is the stamp set that came with it, and it is this is supposed to be like a ribbon. So you get back in the shot. And this is those round ribbons like you see for first, second, third place, that kind of thing. And some accompanying stamps. So, and it made a big shaker card. Let's see if I have my shaker card here. I made it yesterday. I was in a hurry and I wasn't thrilled with my outcome because, like I said, being in a hurry, I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. And I was off a little bit, so I trimmed it. Oh, here it is. So it's not too bad. You can see all the little stars. I do like, however, like the plaids that are in this, and this has like the stitched around the frame. So I'll show you my two cards that we're going to be playing with, but I wanted to show you some alternate projects. They are scrapbook pages from one of my downline. I've covered up the pictures to keep everybody's identity secret, but this is one of the cards here. I'm sorry, not a card, it's a layout. And you can see where she's used the card base and she made a banner. And these are part of the little, they're not stickers, but they're little gold foil, make sure I'm in the shot here, gold foil flags, and she's trimmed them down. And she used some of that ribbon here. And she actually used this looks like it's the frame to the watercolor layer that comes in the kit. There's my washi tape covering everything up. Here's another one, and it's using the mint macaron plaid, and she's made a vase out of the ribbon and used some of the vellum flowers that came in the kit, and then she just stamped that ribbon randomly around the 12 by 12 paper. She's added some of those elegant faceted gems, and here's some more of those watercolor layers that she used. This one, however, is my favorite. she's taken the frames from the shaker cards and she trimmed them and made a shaker on the base of her page so that when you turn the page, turn the page in the album, you have a shaker card effect. Isn't that adorable? And then she put together a couple of the card bases for the layers on the page. So I just absolutely love this page, and this shaker on the bottom of the page is a brilliant idea. So I had to share those with you. She also shared a couple of cards, but I think I'm going to case one of those for my my own Paper Pumpkin event. It's actually, I'm going to do an exclusive Paper Pumpkin email with projects for my team, for my email list, and for my Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So that'll be coming in the mail later on. So these are the two cards I came up with. When I created this one, I actually used a thick Whisper White card base from my stash, but we're going to use one of the white card bases in the kit. And there's the inside. And then this one I made into a fun card, and I've used everything from the kit on this card. And this is actually covering up a boo-boo. So let's get started on our cards. If you like anything extra that I've used today and like to purchase, you can use this host code, and when your order is $40 or more, I'm going to send you a free embellishment, a brand new one, out of the new mini catalog. Oh, before I finish this, I should tell you that the September Paper Pumpkin kit is going to be all about fall. Let me get the flyer here. And I know some people like Halloween and others don't, but this is going to be one that you can do your way. You can do it in Halloween because it has Halloween stuff in it, but it also has stuff about fall. You can see the little embellishment here. It's got some pumpkins, and there's a little cat in a witch's hat. It is going to make treats, but you know me, I'll end up making cards out of it too. So your subscription date is August 11th through September 10th. And really the favorite kits that everybody loves are our fall and holiday kits. So now would be a great time to subscribe. You can go to scrapsbysissy.com, and I actually have a link in today's blog post that will take you to the Paper Pumpkin site where you can subscribe. So let's get started with our cards today. So like I said, this one is a thick Whisper White card base, cut at 8.5 by 5.5, and I scored it at 4 1/4. If you don't have extra card bases laying around, you can always use one of the white card bases out of the kit. Then I took a piece of Bumblebee scrap and I cut it down to 4 inches by 5 1/4 for this layer. Then I took one of the Pacific Point card bases and I trimmed it to 3 3/4 by 5 inches. Now, being that I did it twice, because we're going to do one here in a minute, I cut my 3 3/4 by 5 inches on either side. The inside layer here is the layer or the piece that you cut off when you shift your card to cut it to 5 inches. Did I say 5 1/4? 3 3/4 by 5. So when you trim this to 5 inches, you're going to save that strip and use it for your inside layer. And then I used the watercolor look layer on the top here in some of the vellum leaves. This inside layer piece is cut at 3 3/4 by 5 inches, and it's just a piece of Whisper White. And when you get to this card, here's that strip I was talking about. When I cut the two pieces, 3 3/4 by 5 1/2 on each side, it left a 1/2 inch strip down the middle with the score line. So I cut it at the score line for this layer. So I took this card base and I trimmed off 2 inches and I glued it right down to the inside of the card. And then I glued in that strip left over from that. So that way you're not losing any of your card bases. And then we use this for the front. So we'll do that today. And let's see, it's the trend. Okay, so here we got the mint macaron card base trimmed off 2 inches, and there's that 1/2 inch by 5.5 inch strip. So now that I've thoroughly gone over everything and probably left you with stars in your eyes here, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start off with our blue one. I'm losing my dies here. And here's our card base and our pieces. We're going to do some sponging today too. And like I said, I'm using one of the white card bases from the kit. I'm just going to fold that in half. And we're going to glue these 2 layers together. And we're using, oh, the ink spot in the kit is the Pacific Point, so I'll just use mine. And I'm going to use some of my Stampin' Seal to adhere my pieces together. And I know some people are having trouble with the Stampin' Seal, others are not. Just something we got to work through. It's a little bit of a learning curve, but once you get it, you get it. Okay. So I've layered that on. Now we're going to take our adhesive and we're going to, see, there's the issue some people are having. You just have to work through it. So I'm just going to lay some adhesive across the top and the bottom, and we're going to take a piece of the ribbon from the kit. And the nice thing about our adhesive, it'll hold the ribbon when you glue it down. So we'll just lay this down, press that into the adhesive. Pull this down, lay that down, and then I'm just going to trim it. Just like so. And we'll add some more adhesive and add this to the card base. Doesn't that hold the ribbon really nicely? Lay this down, just like so. Alright, so we're going to do some sponging on the vellum leaves from the kit. So I pulled out my little silicone mat so that we don't get ink everywhere. I'll get my vellum pieces. Here's our stamp. Now it does come with, these are the window sheets. We're going to cut one of the, I have already cut a circle out for our other card, and our dimensionals and some mini glue dots. And here are these vellum leaves. They look very similar to the vellum leaf, or to the leaf die in the Forever Fern. Okay, now sponge these. Now I'm going to sponge the back side of both of these, so that when I go to lay them on the card, we're not going to hopefully get ink all over us. But by laying it upside down, it won't smear on anything. So we'll just come over and sponge. And they're not going to look exactly the same. Just add our ink just like so. Set that aside so we don't end up, see, we did get ink on ourselves, but that's okay. You wouldn't be stamping if you didn't get inky, right? So now I want to get one of the card bases, or the watercolor layers. And we're also going to stamp the words best friend. So the phrase that the stamp has is "you're the best," but I didn't want all of that, so we're going to mask it with some Scotch tape and stamp just best. You lay your Scotch tape over the words you don't want. You'll ink the word you want. Take your tape off. And this is a photopolymer, so we want our Stampin' Pierce mat so we get a crisp, clean image. We're going to stamp best right down here in the corner, just like so. Clean our stamp. Get rid of the piece of Scotch tape. And then we're going to take the word friend, because it has friend, teacher, coach. So you got a couple of choices here, but I wanted friend. I'll put that on here. Take this one off, just like so. I almost didn't leave enough room, did I? Oops. Well, you know what? We're gonna save this. Didn't I tell you it was gonna be one of those kind of days? Oh. I could tell just by the way I started up the camera. Too bad I don't have a rewind. So we'll clean this off. We'll set friend aside for a second. And we'll do this again. The joy of live. You know what threw me is because the word best is on the bottom. So we'll try it again. Good thing I had extra card bases, card layers. All right, one more time. So we'll type the, or stamp the word best right there. Much better, huh? Amazing when you pay attention to what you're doing. And then we'll come back and we'll stamp the word friend. And we'll get him, make sure I can see him. Make it straight, hopefully. Ta-da! That's amazing that was straight. Okay. I'll close that up. But the way I'm going, I may have it all over everything anyway. So we'll add some dimensionals to the card. Or the, I keep calling it a card. It's a layer. And it's a stitched layer. Get these off. And then we're going to lay this over the ribbon so that it straddles the ribbon. Just like that. Now we're going to take our two vellum leaves and using our take a pick tool or take your pick tool, we're going to add some of the mini glue dots. And when you've added the ink, it helps hide those mini glue dots. You won't even be able to see them. Okay, so we'll lay one down. Put him over here. See, you can't even see the mini glue dot. Is he stuck? No. Did I take the whole thing off? I sure did. One more time. If I was smart, I'd just turn this video off now and call it good, huh? We're going to power through this. Alright, lay him down. That one you can kind of see. We're going to hide that with a star. Alright, so we're going to add some more. Some days you ought to just stay in bed. Okay, that's what I did last time. I pulled the whole thing off. Now, we'll lay him down. I can pick him up. And I want him to be hanging off a little bit. Okay. Now we'll add some more mini glue dots for the stars. I think we need to put one right there. And then we'll put another one down here. Okay, now I'll get the stars out of the kit. Should have had those out already. Did I take them out? Nope. We are just a hot mess today, aren't we? Here we are, right on top. They give you a lot of these little stars. So you'll be able to make a lot of little window sheets. Okay. Pick him up. It helps if you take the backing off. I'm going to lay that star right there. Pick this one up. One more time. There. So the front's done. Now, put this guy away so I don't end up stabbing myself. We're going to sponge this guy. Got a mess going on again. Big surprise, huh? So we're just going to And this basically helps break up all the white when you lay your layer down. I like this because then when you have an oops like I did on the inside of the other card, you can just change out layers. So now we're going to run some adhesive on the back side of this and add him to the front or to the top of the layer. Now we'll add some stars to it. That way we can bring the inside of the outside of the card to the inside of the card. Just like that. You probably can hear my air conditioner since I'm sitting right underneath it. It's you know, we're still dealing with the fires and it's very overcast and humid, and it's not really overcast because it's all smoke. All right. All I can say is thank goodness for AC. Oops. There we go. Hi, Missy. I see you're watching. I forgot to check to see who was checking in. Welcome to the chaos. Oh, well. You know, you only go around life once, so let's just enjoy it for what it's worth. Okay, so for the inside, oh, I didn't stamp anything on the, oh, that's the inside of this card. Oh, boy. All right, this calls for a celebration. Apparently, I didn't do my dry run very well this morning. I thought I was all set. Shows me different for next time. So we'll stamp our sentiment on the inside layer, and then we'll glue him down. There we go. I know when this adhesive gets down to the end, it makes it a little bit difficult. So I'm about due for a new insert. Okay, so there's that first card. Not too bad, I guess. Let's go for the next one and see if we do any better on that one. Okay, so to make my little shaker part, I took one of the circle dies and cut that out. And we're going to stamp this image and cut the inside out. That's why I brought my stamp and cut and emboss machine with us today. So, see if I can pull everything out without dropping it. There it is. So I brought my dies with me. And what I did was I already cut, this is one of a piece of our dimensional sheets that we have that were new this year. I cut this one, and then I laid this on the inside and cut them both at the same time so that it will fit that, the wreath image. Okay, I've already trimmed the 2 inches off of this card base, and we're going to glue that down to the inside. Just like this. Okay, then we're going to take that little strip left over from the other card base and add it to the inside. And I'm going to adhere this right to this edge. You can see how sticky this adhesive is. Lay that down just like that. So now we'll stamp the, I don't know what you call this, a ribbon. And then we'll die cut that piece. And again, we're using I'm using the same ink through the whole thing for all of them. We'll stamp him, and this is one of those distinctive dies or stamps, so that it gives you some dimension all the way around. You can see the depth of the stamp, and you're only using the one stamped image. Okay, we'll set this aside for a minute. Now we'll bring out the die cut machine. Hopefully not make a huge mess here. And we're going to use the scallop circle. And we're going to cut the inside, use the circle for the inside to cut that out too. And I brought my plates here. You remember last week I mentioned that they weren't bowing very much? Well, they did. This thing's getting a workout, let me tell you what. But we get to order, starting on Tuesday, you guys can order the machine, and the magnetic plate will be available, as will additional acrylic plates. So lay that down. And then we're going to come in and lay this down, and we'll die cut both pieces at the same time. Scooch him over a little bit. Gotta get that centered. Alright, doesn't look very centered, does it? Alright. Just carefully lay that down. And we'll send it through. And if it's not centered, oh well, it's a handmade card, right? We're doing the best we can with what we've got today. Lucky you guys. Watching the chaos as usual, right? Okay. So, didn't do a very good die cut on that, did I? It didn't look too bad. So now we're going to take our adhesive and we're going to take off one side. We're going to lay that. Wait a minute, I almost forgot something. Almost forgot our watercolor layer. That could have been disastrous, and that would have been perfect for today. So now we're going to lay this down. It's not very round, is it? Okay, close enough for government work. As you won't see it with the top of the wreath layer on it. And we're going to sprinkle in some of our stars. I think the first one I didn't put enough stars in. I don't know why, when I'm doing this, making the sample, everything goes smoothly, and then I get on camera and Murphy's Law takes over. What can go wrong will go wrong. I think that's enough right now. Okay, so we're going to take our little piece of window sheet. We're going to lay that over the top, which creates your shaker. Now we'll add some mini glue dots to the back side of our wreath, or ribbon, whatever you want to call it, and then that'll adhere it to the window sheet, just like so. Get rid of these guys. I could put one right here too. It's probably a good idea. Make sure it stays. Okay, now we'll add this to the front. There we go. Cool. Yeah, adding more stars makes it a better shaker. So now we're going to use that same stamp that we used on the inside of the other card, and we'll stamp that layer. I'm going to stamp him right at the bottom. There we go. Now we'll glue him. We're only going to add adhesive to the left side of the layer so that it makes the opening of the card. Like so. And now I took the inside of that other card, I used another stamp set. I used the Itty Bitty Birthdays, but I didn't bring that. So we're going to use one from the kit, since this is all about the kit anyway. So we're going to say, you deserve a medal. Make sure this is straight. That's where I got in trouble yesterday. Much better. The other one kind of sat like that, and it's like, oh, how am I going to fix this? So there you go. We made it through 2 cards without making too much of a mess or being too chaotic, I guess. So here's your 2 cards. I think I like the shaker, it's the interaction. Well, I thank you for spending time with me this morning. Hi, Lisa. I see you joined me. You got to enjoy all the chaos going on around here. Hand the monkey the gun and look what happens. I'll be finishing up my blog post today with links for all the product. Again, thank you for spending some time with me this morning and being patient while I muddle my way through this. I hope you have a wonderful Thursday, and I will catch you later. Bye. Maybe.